Certainly.
Yeah? Tell me what's on your mind? Not a one. Thanks to you, I'm sleeping like a babe. No, better even. I never knew nothingness could feel so warm and so nice. More like from my mind. No matter what comes to pass in the days and nights ahead, I won't forget who it was that brought me relief from the dreams. And the crush of the souls I'd acquired. I'm glad we talked.
Watcher? You only have to ask.
What are we standing around for?
Great and terrible things are at work. And once again, you seem to be in the middle of it. The Rawatayans we passed will doubtless spread word of what you've done in Hasongo. But others will want to know what you've seen. They'll look to you for answers. As am I. It reminds me of the question that drew me to the Deadfire. The one I've been avoiding. I promised to tell you what I was doing among the Animancers at Port Marge. As you may have guessed, I was observing them, gathering information on the various Animancy operations in the region. Yes, and how better to draw them out. Animancy is a subject of particular interest to the Leaden Key. Through it, I hope to pick up the trail. That's where it gets complicated. After that incident in Old Valia, I thought more about the Leaden Key and its particular composition. If you two are finished... It's existed for over 2,000 years. Say what you will about its motives and methods, but that's an impressive tenure. That's when I realized how short-sighted I'd been. To think I could undo the Leaden Key without understanding how it works. I found references to an ancient Leaden Key cabal in the Deadfire. Possibly one of the oldest, if accounts are credible. And they appear to have been working independently, without direct intervention from Theos, for almost 2 millennia. And how to destroy it, yes. Most sources refer to them as the Painted Masks. But I haven't met anyone here who knows that name. I don't know where in the Deadfire they are exactly, but I was hoping we could look for them together. That's all I ask.
What's on your mind? Wasn't what I expected, I know that much. I had this idea that maybe I'd get along with him. Either 'cause he was like his mom, or 'cause he was like, But it was like somebody talked him out of his personality. And when he looked at you, you got the feeling he was looking at someone a long ways behind you. It's not his fault. He's alone out here. And his mom was such a force. If she was so sure of herself, she'd have had that cult leader following her. Hard to replace something like that.
All this chasing after Aethys, it's brought back memories of the Saints' War. Just how scared everyone was, mostly. Everybody put on a brave face, made all these claims about what they'd do when they met a god in battle. There was no sadder sight than a group of us talking big, trying to outdo one another. Even the fella that led us, he used to say he knew all these different ways you could kill a god, if you were so inclined. Of course, at night he'd grind his teeth so hard it sounded like he was chewing rocks. In case you were curious if he really had it in him. Oh, I bet that'll be a load off his mind. Could be he'll suck out our souls more gently as a reward. Point being, the prospect of facing a god makes cowards of most all of us. And now, here I am again, on my way to meet Aethys. Some ways I feel the same. Edgy, sick in my gut. But it's different this time. Might be because of you. We haven't gone to pieces yet, for one thing. At least not on the outside. You could have let it all end back at Cadnua, or even Gilded Vale. But you're still going, even knowing where we're headed. Haven't forgot who you are. There's part of me thinks we aren't gonna make it out of this. When I get to thinking like that, it helps to remember how you've held together. What do you think? We gonna survive all this? Well, maybe that makes it more impressive you're still at it then. Yeah, I go back and forth myself. Every time we see one of those big footprints, it reminds me not to get too excited. There's a good chance we die out here, halfway across the world from anywhere I ever called home. But if I can face it like you, maybe it doesn't matter. I mean it. Don't know where I'd be right now if you hadn't come through Gilded Vale that day. I'll tell you what, though. I'm not one for big promises. But I'm gonna beat up as many people and monsters as it takes to get you your life back. You got my word on that.
I'm glad to see you in good health, my lady.
Taku!
I thought Aethys was too busy kicking over islands to blunt his teeth with mortals. What say? You must take something from all this idle chatter with the gods. And you knew things he did not? Ah. For what does he listen to you, then? The gods I know are tight of lip and hard of hearing. I could not imagine the inner workings of a god. But then, I am not meant to. It is for mortals to flail in the darkness, I say, while gods point us toward light. To be worshipped, to have others interpret your design. It is not fair, I say. For what should a god worry about such cares, when theirs is the hand on the tiller? Kara, I did not wish to burden you. These days I am having to think harder than my pampered years. You will forgive the handsome fish if he is as curious as the green god. At least Aethys has you to keep him in check. What happens when we catch up to him is something for future Tekehu to worry about.
Scratch under the wet clay of any artist and you hatch a lifetime of fear and doubt. My boy doesn't fear the gods. He only fears what he'll compromise by living up to his potential. But isn't it easier to let sculptures represent you? Poor thing. Nothing he does could disappoint me. But that is a mother's prerogative.
Captain, a word? What, did Ishi defecate in your favorite helmet or something? You've spoken to Aethys, which means you know what we're up against. If the fleet sailed up to him and fired every cannon at once, I imagine we'd have a fighting chance at taking a chip off his kneecap. There's no stopping him, is there? So, that's a no? I suppose there's a certain appeal to recognizing the inevitable. We don't have to waste our breath trying to stop it. All assuming that reason can penetrate the green boy's head better than bullets can. It reminds me of the first time I shot to kill. There he stood, a pirate captain barking orders from the forecastle. Out of everyone's range but mine. The wind toyed with us. I took aim, never thinking I'd make the shot, but then I felt this awareness, like someone out there was aiming me. A cannon blast took me by surprise. I squeezed off a shot, expecting it to fly wide, but the bullet took my target between his eyes. I don't know if Bareth kicked open a door or the Sky Mother held my hand, but that man was meant to die. I've got that same feeling now. Better or worse, I know that Aethys is meant to succeed. Choice is a funny word. I never planned to live by the gun. One day I put a bullet through a Bronzoa while the Ranganui happened to be watching, and the rest was history. I can still take pride in my work, if that's what you're asking. Hope I didn't take the wind out of your sail. Whether or not we can change anything, at least we can say we were there. That's more than most people get.
I've got some answers.
If you be having a tick, Cap, I'll be thinking that, if I be dragging you into these depths, you deserve the full sounding. When I were a wee swabby, fresh to the sea, it were Romaro that showed me the ropes and rigging. More than that, he, kept his weather eye open for me. The sea be a right poxy ore on occasion, and life aboard the Sorcerer, that and more. Malnash, our ship hunter, she were all, wet and bothered for doing me harm, and Romaro, he protected me. Mentored me too, learned me letters and navigation, handed down the Principe traditions. In time, we became close as kin or closer. And the Sorcerer, my family. Fair. He be of old Valian stock. A good man and righteous. Not honest, of course, but honourable. Were our shipboard sawbones, and more than half handy at it. More than one swabby be on the old salt of deferral from the wheel. Well, only knows, Cap. She treated me like my mere presence gave offence. Right, fantastic fucking question, Cap. Word out with mutiny. But I'll be putting about as much stock in that as a dockside doxy for manners. Well, no, I don't normally be singing no praises of veracity, Cap. But in the matter of Romaro, I'll be hunting the truth. Thanks, Cap. I'll be holding you to it. Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for? Aye, sure. When I were a wee swabby, fresh to the sea be a right poxy ore on occasion, and life aboard the Sorcerer, that and more. Aye. Do right by it, and I won't be regretting it. I've no use for regrets, Cap. Sink in sorrow for every innocent that dies in your stead, and you'll never be sailing forward. Ask away, Cap. Formerly the Principe San Petrena. The princes, without, without a home, They came from Gran Valia ages ago. Now they be the scourge of the Deadfire. More than that ain't for the likes of me to say. Ask away, Cap. Raiding seafaring vessels mostly. Seasoned ships' cargo. Ships themselves if they be worth anything. If there be passengers of high birth, we be taking them for ransom too. Ain't squeamish about slaying, but be avoiding it when we can. Get yourself known for killing folk. They get more likely to fight you when you come for the gold.
You only get known for killing folk if you're not so great at killing folk.
Shooting a man from the shadows be one thing. Sinking a god's damn carrack be another entire. Ask away, Cap. Aye, that I do, Cap. What not? Smell of the sea, creak of the rigging, blast of the cannons, rush aboard a right piece of prey. A mug of spice rum in my hands and a bawdy song on my lips. A lad or lass in every port and another in my hammock. Be a pirate's life for me.
All the things you get out of being a hairy, smelly cutthroat, I get out of being a decorated officer. It'd be funny if it wasn't so sad.
No worries, lass. I'll be making a right honest pirate of you yet. Is she's a too. Ask away, Cap. Aye, aye, Cap.
Someone's up ahead. As you wish. What can I do? Yes?
come to the wrong place, outsider. The touch of the gods does not grant you access to this island. You cannot have business on Motare Okozi. Leave before I feed your bones to the jungle. This is no library, Outlander. Death herself has touched this jungle. It seems you intend on letting the island do our work for us. I thought my message to the Huana Prince was clear. He needs reminding that to trespass on the jungle ruin is a death sentence. Explorers from Neketaka landed here. You must know by now they did not return. It is no wonder the prince sent a second group to find the first. He cares more about riches and plunder than the lives of his servants. Akira, the island is closed to outsiders. All who set foot here are doomed to perish. The prince sent explorers into the maw of this island. Their drained corpses and bloodied clothes were all they left behind. If Aruihi intends on repeating his mistakes, I am thinking he will not stand for long against the foreigners. To the depths with him, then. A prince of Neketaka should put the wishes of his people over his ambition. You did not come here to learn our history, and I do not share our secrets with outsider filth. We do not venture into the deeper jungle, but we know it for what it is. A place where nature has gone mad. It is not for me to explain the tales of our people, but I warn you to keep your distance. Motare Okozi has claimed more lives than you would guess. Your curiosity will only be getting you into trouble. You will find only bones and ruin, blighted with decay, and worse. The deeper jungle is fouled. Nature is wrong here, and your very presence makes her drool with hunger. You have done nothing to earn the trust of the Wahaki. I cannot look into the eyes of my chieftain and explain to her why I let you go into the jungle. Better for us both if I killed you now. We will give your body to the sea with all the rights that a worthy foe deserves. An outsider can expect no greater honor. When an outsider visits Neketaka and proves helpful, this is rare enough that it should not be punished. We will be watching you, outsider. Though we will not interfere if the jungle attempts to close its jaws around you. Cause no trouble in the ruins of Motare Okozi.
Watcher. Guess what? Now go on and guess, really. Not a god's darned one. And ain't that just it? I feel so fine. Like I swallowed a star and now I got light bursting from my chest. Can you see it in me? This happiness? It's all on account of you, Watcher. Everything's different now. The world looks so dang bright, doesn't it? Even at night. The sky goes all glittery with stars. Must be what the gods see when new souls are born.
I'm here. I'd be glad to.
Between the eyes.
Second try, I say!
Indeed.
You ask too much.
Trespasser! Vile defiler!
Madam, this is a swamp at best. What could we be trespassing on?
We do not speak to the fertilizer. You are nothing but water to feed our young, soil to birth our seed. Ha! Your furious water will feed our garden long after you are a withered husk. So, you're more than just some fool brawler like all the rest. Then we will hearken to your chatter, for now. Ah, you are blind to the harmony of our grove, Outlander. We are perfection. You are the only infestation here. We look out on our garden and see green, bounty, life. The oldest cycle made healthy after the blight of Ukaizo's fall. Is this not so? This brackish water. I have rooted here for centuries, and I recognize nothing. The grove does not die. No, it lives in death.
Ikera, I will try to take that as a compliment. Looking better already, I say.
That thing I was, she is no more. But I carry enough of her to know the meaning of gratitude. Thank you. I collected a small hoard of trinkets from visitors. We have no need of these trophies. This grove rotted a blink of an eye ago, by Aora's reckoning. I will grow and replenish what we lost. Taming it will be a chore, but there is time. More of my daughters may yet roam this jungle, with my poison coursing through their roots. I cannot stop them from bringing you harm, and I will not punish you for bringing them rest.
Of course. It's no trouble. Happily. Stand together!
Yeah, all right.
The alpha predator!
Of course. Absolutely.
Got someone in my sights.
I'm stuck! Sweet redemption! I'd be glad to. Help! Please! Come, Blanca! Help me! Pazzo! Stinking weed!
Nature has turned her hand against this woman. We must not leave her in the state, Captain.
I don't know what you are, stranger, but your kindness goes down smooth. Director Castell sent us. We were shadowing a Juana expedition, trying to figure out what they were after. Corpses, all of them. But we couldn't turn our backs on the mission. so we went deeper into the jungle. North of here, there is a golden disc. Big, heavy thing. One of my mates took a piece of it. Everything went wrong after that. Something took us while we rested. Oh gods. I woke up, and there was a flower growing out of my Casita's mouth. I started pulling weeds out from between his teeth. Then, I got hit from behind, and woke up here. There is something guiding the creatures here. A woman, I think. She gets under your skin. I only caught a glimpse of her in passing. Huge. And her daughters are none too fond of outsiders. But we didn't learn much. It was already missing a piece by the time we got here. The most I saw were a bunch of Juana's scribblings.
Those scribblings were made by my people millennia ago. I suppose you just wanted it for the plunder?
Not necessarily. It would have made a fetching desk at the company headquarters. I wager it was what the other expedition came to find. Not that their luck was any better than ours. Thank you. Only I don't know how we're going to manage it.
Akira, a simple matter of denying these vines their beloved water. Not my finest work, but it is done.
I think that did it. Agrasima. Our ship landed on the other side of the island, but I am the last of the crew, and I cannot sail her alone. May I join your voyage? I do not care where we make port, as long as it is far from here. Ak, Casita! I will see you on board.
If I get snared, don't leave me behind. Please.
Nowhere in the Isles have I seen such craftsmanship.
Welcome back, welcome back. It is a pleasure to see you once again. Tell me, how is the sailing? Smooth? Nothing to delay your expedition, I hope. How might I assist you? Ah, how exciting! Let's see here. Goodness, that's not what I was expecting. And so close to Porto Mage. You've done wonderfully. Ah, this book will be the best thing since Cassini's adventures, and that was all romantic rubbish. Here, your pay, my friend. We're only getting started, of course. There's more to see. Tikawara next, I think. How does that strike you? It's a little Huana village out to the southeast. 3 islands this time, all nameless and unloved. They form a little triangle around Tikawara, if you squint. I'll be waiting.
My little privateer.
You have news for me?
Perfetto. A fitting test of your skills and a promising beginning for us both. It goes without saying that I have more work for you if you have the space for more coin. The company is always eager to hunt pirates. My contacts have one by the name of Veen in their spyglass. Veen is a Vithrak, if such things matter to you. Gets in your head, they say. Gelarde. You can catch up to Veen as he sails the Dow reckless far east of Neketaka, past the Kuaurikuhu Islands, no doubt thinking himself beyond our reach.
Out, pesky fly! Shoo, shoo!
Ado, my hunter. To what do I owe this delight? My first bounty to pay off. An exciting day for us both. Maybe it's not much, but as I make more deals, more pyres will be available, Ak? I finally managed to land the rights to a bounty of value. You may not like it. There is a thirsty drake who roosts near an oasis northeast of Maje Island. An important site for refilling canteens. The local tribes call him Purakeo, after a sea dragon of legend. Even so, they have no love for this water thief. To think that such a magnificent creature could also be a water-hoarding pest. Dragons are a complicated bunch. Agrasima, my friend. You will let me know if you are interested in more work, Ak? A marauder gang boss called Nomu broke free of custody along with the rest of his plunder buddies. It is said they wasted no time getting up to their old tricks. Prison is too kind for a pirate, so there is a bounty on Nomu's head. He and his ilk fled to the wilderness north of Neketaka. I hope I will still find this disgusting when I am important enough to toast with the elite bounty hunters. I tell them all that the captain of your ship will always be my favorite hunter. A sea troll has been making a name for himself raiding fishing villages with his minions. They call him Tahe. That's thief to the locals. I hear the Huana hate few things more than a food stealer. Warriors fan out to catch the fiend, but so far they have no luck. Tahe can't have roamed far from his latest raid on an island southwest of Neketaka.
Don't you have a temple to find? And? Where is he? Did you get my money? That twisty old pig licker. I should have known. Gods, but I'm dead tired of this wretched archipelago. So, if you don't mind, I'll be taking my leave. May Wild's Legion of Creepy Eyes watch your back and all that.
For what do you obey your harvest god with such devotion, friend Shodi?
What do you mean, why? Like there's an alternative?
The Huana gods are a jungle of choices, I say. If the fish displeases you, look to the bird.
Welcome back. Governor Alvari will see you.
Ah, good, you're back. I hope you had a pleasant voyage. Before you get too far on the way, I think you ought to come with me. Director Castol will want to hear from you in person.
Alvari tells me you were kind enough to look into this business on Pococahara for us. I hope you bring good news. De veras? Incredible. What fortune we have had to find a watcher. And Adra, a vein of that size, will do much to allay our investors' concerns. And the crew. Beza and the others. A sorry end for such dedicated individuals. How very fortunate that you lived to tell their tale. I believe I can take things from here, Alvari. Agrasima. The Watcher and I have more business to discuss. Oh, and do pay the woman for her trouble first. I apologize. Right to business with no real introduction, no? I am Ignato Castol, director of the Valiant Trading Company's operations here in the Deadfire. I thought it best I speak with you face to face. Watchers are not so numerous here in the Deadfire, especially those of such storied backgrounds as yourself. I'd read much about your exploits alongside the Crucible Knights in Defiance Bay. Their little experiments. And I think that we are, each of us, in a position to offer each other something that we cannot find elsewhere. The Valiant Trading Company has had a presence on this island for nearly a century now. We have the greatest fleet on the seas, the support of the richest men and women in the world. What can the Royal Deadfire Company offer? A soldier's wages, so that you can elevate the fortunes of a distant king? And the Queen? A place in the Kahanga tribe among all the rest of these neglected people. You've lived outside the caste system all these years. Are you eager to return to it? I can give you money, fame, certainly. But the men and women of the company, we set our aims high. And if I only wanted to offer you work as an Adra inspector, I would have let Alvari deal with you. The Valiant Trading Company has maintained an outpost here in Nekataka for nearly a century now. It was only 2 years ago that we discovered the effects of Luminous Adra with the aid of our animancers and several watchers. Flaune Alette has continued to study the potential of Luminous Adra in all manner of advances. Why content ourselves to sell all this Adra as a luxury when we might use it to change the world? But of course you understand all of this. Alette sent word of your involvement in her latest experiment. A very dramatic first attempt, I hear. Though Alette has a tendency to gloss over details. But I want to hear it from you. How did it go? You'll put the priest into a frenzy with talk like that. Communion with the gods is their business. A near-death experience does little to recommend Alette's efforts. I am glad you are in one piece, Watcher. We are in the early days of Alette's research. Flawed as this outing was, there is promise there. This is only the start, you know. The very dawn of a new age of discovery. But just imagine. Imagine if we could transport goods and people more quickly than any vessel or horse. Cure every kind of ailment. Perhaps cure disease altogether. We'll extend our lifespans by decades, maybe even centuries one day. This has all been the work of a single outpost. I want there to be a dozen outposts, 100. Animancers working together to better our lives. Look at what we have left behind. Old Valia is a battlefield at constant war with itself. But the republics have risen from that past. We can rise farther still. And in doing so, we will raise all of Aora with us. Yes, but achievable, I think. I may not live to see it, but I will see the groundwork done. But I've said enough. Too much, I think. There will be more experiments to come. Until then, I have a more grounded task I need assistance with. Nothing that should put your spirit in any danger. Nekataka sees its share of smuggling. I doubt that would surprise anyone. But we've learned of a particular exchange that will have more dire effects than a few spoiled Hawana peasants.
There are no peasants in the tribes. Your people created this term.
Peace, man. They certainly aren't kings or queens, are they? There is a Royal Deadfire Company official by the name of Quarno who has been meeting in secret with one of the Principi. I do not believe he works with the approval of his masters. He meets with a Captain Tola, a known pirate and smuggler. I hope I don't have to tell you that an alliance between a crooked royal official and the Principi is not the kind of trouble any of us need. I have a woman, Britza, waiting in the luminous bathhouse in Periki's Overlook. The smugglers do business there, and she has kept an eye on things. I promise to send assistance. Find her, and she will tell you what she knows. Excellent. Meeting you has been a stroke of luck, Watcher. I'll await your report.
Just a moment. There we are. So, did Alvari send you? I'm putting together the numbers. She will have to be patient. Well, you're no clerk. Sientere, Watcher. I was preoccupied. Do not take it personally. They put me in this side office for a reason. Oleska Saraso, advisor. Did you get turned around? I have little to do with people, to be honest. Numbers, mostly. What can I do for you today, Watcher? I will not lie. Our fortunes dwindle. I must ask the director for some clarity on these figures. I cannot imagine why they are so low. Put plainly, I am an advisor to the director. I keep the books in order and offer advice on the operations of the fleet. Profits, losses, all here. I have a better head for numbers than for small talk, I'm afraid. It isn't personal. It is nice to be asked, I suppose. I hardly ever get anyone in here unless they need help with their sums. That is true, but hardly anyone says so. I have been lucky to reach this position. I enjoy the work, and it is clear that I am needed. Being useful, it is a good feeling. Put plainly, I am an advisor. I have a better head for... I can spare a few moments. Oh, him. Good family, sensible. Big plans for the Deadfire he has. Big, expensive plans. She's nice, no? A little intense, maybe. She gets results. Always to the letter. Well, it is funded and so controlled by the Songretta Mea Compresa. I can tell you that much. a council of 11 investors. Dukes, nobles, not all from the Republic's mind, but all very important people. While the Songreta is away, Cantaniro is the company's highest authority on the island, but he mainly concerns himself with diplomatic affairs. For the usual business, you want the director.
We here.
Of course.
You ever wonder? Healthy to carry a lantern full of lost souls?
You mean like if I keep at it, they're gonna do something worse than give me nightmares?
I suppose we're past the point of unhealthy.
At once.
Ishi, how much of the captain's hardtack have you eaten? You're gonna make yourself sick again, foolish bird.